now, just so I don't forget. That's always my fear. Somebody will be deep into a story, and I'm like, "This is gold." I'm not recording.
Kevin, did you age backwards? Did you bend your button on us?
Do I look younger when I shave? I feel like I look goofy and weird.
Did you just call it bend your button?
Yeah, bend your button.
He did say that.
You look like you're better with numbers.
Did you get it?
Is that like Rain Man or just an accountant? I'm just a regular old accountant.
That's what it is.
Yeah, accountant.
The accountant thing.
I have a huge goblet. Julie made me a drink. It is, look at this.
Oh my God.
Damn.
That's not trick photography. Look, into my lips. It's
Did you steal that from a restaurant?
maybe, I don't, that's possible.
It looks like something they have at Red Lobster.
I'm being told no from afar.
I heard that.
Yeah, Red Lobster or Senior Frogs, perhaps.
I used to work in the mall, and we would go to Ruby Tuesdays. We'd get a fish bowl, which is just like alcohol and food coloring in a fish bowl.
Cool.
And I remember drinking one, and you're blasted. And then I asked for another one. Like, we can't serve you another one. I was like, oh, so we're cut off after. And oh, no, we can serve you in other glasses, just not another one of those. So it was a problem.
And you had the fishbowl was just you. You didn't share it with people.
No, I mean, why would you? It's your own personal fishbowl.
But
It's
where
not
in the
alcohol.
mall did you work?
I worked at Suncoast for many, many years. Were you a mall person? Did you work at a mall?
I didn't work. I was not cool enough to work in a mall, nor did I want to run into that many of my high school classmates.
Yeah. That's what was always weird. You'd run into, and teachers, you'd see teachers, and then all of a sudden
Suncoast?
well, anywhere. Yeah. I mean, but because I worked in a bakery at one point, and I remember our disciplinarian coming in, and he was all broken down, sad, and his wife was behind him putting stuff in the bag. And I was like, oh my God, it was just an amazing thing. But you have all the authority in those situations because everything's reversed. And it's a very weird feeling to be the person of authority in charge of someone who regularly is in charge of you.
Becca, you think working in a mall made Kevin cool?
No, she understands I was cool long before that.
You know, every mall had a different demographic. So I like to say that my child's accordion is right next to me for some reason.
Ooh.
Oh, play us something.
Can you play? Becca, can you play anything on it?
No.
Let's see it make noise. The best part about it is Zoom automatically makes the audio cut out because it's like, we're good.
It's got an accordion setting.
Yeah, this is not a normal noise, so we're gonna cut this out.
I have it set on cut me out when I'm being stupid. So
It's a very odd toy for a kid.
yeah, someone gave it to my daughter when she turned like 2.
Oh,
And it clearly says like ages 8 and up or something on it. I don't know.
it says here, this is a gift from someone who hates your parents.
That's why it's been in a box in the basement. I think our kids recently unearthed it because we never leave the house anymore.
Yeah, I was just saying today that I'm just getting real tired of these faces. Not these faces. Yeah, you guys are good. This is truly thrilling. These are the other people that I see in my life, but
Ian, I would have been insulted, but I was trying to read your shirt, and before you moved up and I saw it said Daryl Hall, I really thought it said Daryl Hannah, which I respect, but
yeah, well, she was robbed for an Oscar in Splash.
it's a great movie.
Great movie.
That's not how I thought you were gonna end that sentence.
She was robbed.
For an Oscar in a different movie, wasn't she in L.A. Stories?
Lady Hawk, perhaps? No?
When you first said Daryl Hannah, I was thinking of Daryl Hammond, and I was like, I don't think he was nominated for any Oscars.
No. I saw his documentary, man. I had no idea his growing up was so tragic.
I read his book. Yeah.
Yeah. He
It's
was,
rough, man.
yeah. And it makes perfect sense why he's so amazing at mimicking and disappearing into other people. But yeah, horrible child abuse and like just horrific.
Wow.
Stuff. Yeah.
Welcome to our comedy podcast.
Hey, this is Steve with the Punch Up Podcast. With me on this episode are Jessie Preisendorfer,
Hey, Steve.
Ian O'Shea,
Hey, Steve.
Kevin Regan,
Hey, Steve.
and our storyteller is Becca Mclarty. Becca, thank you for being here.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
It's all yours. Tell us a story.
So the year I graduated from high school, my older sister graduated from college, same year. And as a graduation gift, our parents bought us plane tickets to travel to Europe together.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, we had not really traveled much, and it was like, we're gonna do the thing people do, backpack.
Did you get along with your sister?
Much better after she moved out. I mean, we always loved each other, but there was,
Yeah.
sibling fighting, and then she moved away for college, and we really missed each other, and I got older, and we started to connect more.
Yeah.
Are you the only two siblings?
Yeah.
Okay.
That happened to my brother and I too. We fought cats and dogs, and then he went away to prep school and came back and was nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Becca, would you visit your sister in college and do road trips and all that, or no?
We didn't do road trips. I mean, I would visit with my parents and stuff like that. But I would stay with her in the dorm.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like this. This is what we did in the dorm.
Did you bring a shower caddy?
No, but I most def got one when I went to college myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the deal was my parents were buying us the plane tickets, and we were going to save up all of the spending money. We did a terrible job at saving up money, like just not good at all.
That's so weird at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't work at Suncoast in the mall, so I didn't have, wasn't,
No.
It's also difficult when you're only looking for jobs that pay in euro.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I don't know. When did the euro become a thing?
Not that long.
I like that you're embarrassed by the question as if any of us are going to know the answer to it.
Just like, I don't think it was. Like, I think we had to change money every time we changed countries.
I'm sure you did. Yeah. Well, I mean, what year are we talking? When did you graduate high school?
99. 1999.
It hasn't been that long.
No.
It's only been 5 or 6 or 7 years.
You guys got in under the
I'm
wire.
going to say over 10. I'm going to go
I'm
over
gonna say
10 on the
10.
euro.
I'll say 10.
I'll take the over.
It's not giving me the answer that I wanted quickly. I was hoping it was going to be a fast deviation, but I'm not getting crap. So
Okay, I'm right.
Okay.
We'll just say I'm right.
yeah,
So-
Steve's right.
Steve's
Yeah.
right.
Good job, Steve.
Thanks.
We had some type of money, but not very much of it. So we ended up, there were many days where we were eating the same loaf of bread for like multiple meals, and then staying in like really super sketchy places.
What was the plan? Like how many weeks and
It
what
was,
countries?
I think, 2.5 weeks, which really is a good amount of time, but not a lot for like traveling to multiple countries, which we ended up going to 4 countries in that amount. We were such clueless travelers, like super clueless travelers. We didn't plan anything. We didn't speak the language. We just had this guidebook.
When did you get pickpocketed?
I cannot believe we didn't. I mean, we stayed in a place called The Tent outside of Venice, where it is literally a huge circus type tent, and you get for your money as many burlap blankets as you want. And there's no bed, there's no pad. Like the burlap blankets are the bottom and the top and the pillow of your bed.
Oh man.
Wow.
And there was truly as many as you want. Like you could have kept going back for them.
We did, because it was really cold.
Were there any other people other than Americans staying in these places? Like this just seems like a perfect ploy for Americans. Like, yeah, this is a hostel in France.
Also some Canadians. There were a couple Canadians.
There were some, I think, Australian.
If you want a soda, there is change down my pants.
Yeah.
I like that there's Australians there because like sleeping on burlap bag, that's their thing. They're like, this is decadent.
This is living.
That's not a bed. Here's a bed.
The inside of a kangaroo's couch. We somehow made it through, we flew into Germany, made it through Germany, Switzerland, and by through, I mean like some places, and then to Italy, where we stayed in this place called Cinque Terre, which is, it's beautiful. It's like a string of 5 towns along the northern coast.
Is that the Quinta Inn?
Yeah, yes, exactly. But I think it's become more popular and developed since then, but at the time, we had like a Rick Steves Does Europe book. I don't think that.
Did you say Rick Dees?
Yeah, it was Disco Duck across all of Europe.
That he does Europe.
40 places to see in Europe.
Rick Steves, like Steve.
Okay.
Rick Steves. And you had for Cinque Terre, he had listed actual people's phone numbers, like just like this is this woman, and you call her house, and she will maybe rent you a room. And so we
Wow.
called this lady Juliana, and we didn't speak any Italian, and she didn't speak any English. And so my sister was speaking Spanish because she knew Spanish from college, and was trying to like find the place where those like
Common
Latin
ground.
languages
Yeah.
overlapped.
Was she doing Spanish in an Italian accent?
Yeah, yes. Oh, hola.
And doing a lot of nodding over the phone.
But it worked out. We got there, and the room and the bed were the same size. You fell into the bed when you got there. It didn't matter because the place is awesome. It has vineyards and olive trees, and it's along the water, and there's this hiking trail that leads between the towns.
And you're planning to stay there for how long?
Well, we ended up staying there for
6 hours.
we ended up staying there for 2 days because of circumstances that happened there.
What happened?
Wait, is the story leading to that, or are you omitting that part?
That's it. That's the end.
That was great.
Okay.
Awesome. Great job.
You have to come back. This was fantastic.
I didn't know it, like, 'cause sometimes the people will tell a story like, well, there's part I'm going to keep to myself, but they say that in their mind, not outwardly to everyone else. And go, I can't tell you that part.
We're leading there. It's just like we have to get it's a
Yeah,
journey.
take your time, no rush.
So the second day we were there, we hiked to the town that was next to the town where we were staying, but it was pretty far away. And the hikes were strenuous. You went up really far and then across and then down really far. So by the time we got there, we were totally exhausted, and there was a pebbly beach, and in the ocean out a little ways was this outcropping of rocks, and there were people standing on them. They had clearly swam there, and so swam,
So,
skimmed.
how do you say it in Spanish with an Italian accent? Anyone?
Swim,
El swimmo.
swim.
Swimmo. It's I think it's one of the feminine ones, so it's swimma.
Ah,
It is swimmer.
La swimma. So we were like, we're gonna swim out to these rocks, and it's one of those swims where you're from the shore, you're like, I can totally do that, and then halfway you're like, swimming is hard and this is far.
And you had hiked a while.
Yeah. But I was 18, so like.
I'm gonna live forever anyway. So
Yeah.
who cares?
So Abby climbs out. My sister climbs out before I did onto the rocks, and when I climb out, immediately I have this searing pain in my right foot, and I look down, and 25 sea urchin spines had broken off into the center of my foot.
Oh God.
And the rocks, we looked down in the water, and the rocks, it looked like as they went down, they were black, but it turned out that all of the black was sea urchins. And like, I don't actually know how Abby or any of the other people managed to get out of the water without stepping on one.
Is that why all the people on the rocks were like, no,
Hey, they're waving to us. They're inviting us.
we're coming?
Waving in Spanish. They didn't understand.
Yeah, they were probably saying sea urchin in Italian.
Oh,
I was like, they're welcoming us.
Swimmer, swimmer, swimmer.
So we have to swim back, and then things get a little dodgy in the memory, and my sister and I just consulted photos and journals. We cannot remember if we hiked back or if we had schlepped all of our crap with us there, which we were like, why would we have done that? That's really dumb. But we were really dumb. So that's possible. But her journal literally says, through a series of mishaps and train rides, we end up in Pisa.
Wow.
So we end up in Pisa at this all women's hostel. And the only
Hello.
tool that we have
I'm listening.
is
Travel guide. That's all you have is the travel.
Rick D's top 40. No, is
So what does Rick D say to do when I almost said a street urchin, when a sea urchin is embedded in your foot? Is there some sort of plan?
I think that was in the more expensive version that we could afford.
You just yank it out.
Did you have actual like things you had to pull out of your foot? Did you
Yeah,
have, like,
well, they had broken off, so it was like
Right.
25 long splinters.
Yeah.
They weren't like sticking out anymore. They were like
They
in
broke
there.
off, they're in your foot. Yeah.
And the only thing we had was a Swiss Army knife, but it was one that just had a knife, like did not have the tweezers or anything. It was,
Had you been to Switzerland yet? Because
Yeah.
you could replace that. Is that where you got it? Because they
No. Actually, no, we didn't get it there. We had been to Switzerland. So I was trying to use
Swiss Army knife with one S.
Yes.
Becca, can you still feel it now? Like, was it that type of pain? You have children, so like pain. But I mean, is that like something in your mind? You still are like, I can feel that still now.
The children, that pain is in a different area though. Of
Yeah.
your body, so.
Let me write this down. I wasn't.
Yeah, it's not through your foot. I just need
What do I know?
The more you know.
Did we leave the island of all women? Did we leave that part?
No, we're there.
I don't want to miss that.
Jessie, I was trying to slow things down so you could get a drink and get comfortable. This sounds great.
I'm fine.
We now return to Italian bosom buddies.
Bosom buddies. So we only had the tip of this knife that I'm trying to use to pry off the little sea urchin spines out of my foot. So we decided we need to go down to the people that work at the hostel and ask them for something. And they clearly don't speak any language except for Italian.
You're in a great deal of pain, right? I mean, it hurts quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Can you walk?
Yeah.
I was hobbling. I was like just being on my toes.
Your foot swell up like crazy?
Right in the arch of my foot, which was like a weird place. But I came down with my sister to ask for something so that we could show them my foot since we couldn't speak the language.
Sure.
And sorry, Jessie, they were all like old Italian ladies or maybe that's your thing. I don't know. In my head, they were nuns, but they were not. It turns out they weren't nuns.
That is Jessie's thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Jessie, what is your thing?
Oh, you know my thing.
We're like 150 episodes into the series. We need to know.
We now return to Italian bosom buddies.
So they kind of got it pretty quickly, and she got a needle out, and she was cleaning it. The old lady was cleaning in the flame and kind of wiping it off, and I was like, Abby, tell them that I want to do it myself. Like, I don't want them to do it. I want to do it myself. And so she's trying to communicate this in Spanish, and the old lady's like walking toward me. Like, I get kind of picture, and I was like, tell her. I started to get more frantic, and I was like, I want to do it myself. Tell her I want to do it myself.
Selfo.
And then selfie.
Selfa. It's selfa. Again, female.
And the woman comes over and sticks the needle into the center of my foot.
Oh.
And I yelped, and this other person who was staying in the hostel walked by, and Abby grabbed her and was like, she wants to do it herself, which she clearly had no context for, but she turned out did speak Italian and English. And so she communicated that for us. And that night I got out 20 of the spines. And then it was like, my foot was at that point really swollen and bad.
Bloody, I mean, carved up, right? I mean, you were carving it up and,
Yeah.
With still some of them left in there.
There were 5 left. So
did you name them? I would start naming them at that point. They're part of you.
I felt super betrayed because in 2nd grade, we had to choose a sea animal to do a report on. And chose the sea urchin.
No.
I was like, you rat bastard.
Yeah.
That's very Italian. It was very Italian.
Yeah. Had it been a sea otter, if you rode on a sea otter, when you climbed up them rocks, it would have been like velvet. You would have been like, ooh, this is comfortable.
Adorable.
I know. But I was like, the sea urchin is underappreciated, and all the other kids were choosing seahorses and starfish and stuff. And
now, at this time, I mean, I know you're a senior in high school and stuff, but like, and your foot's all carved up. Was it at least like, were you sharing wine and like trying to like just maybe dull the pain and also just having a kind of a weird, great experience, or was it just miserable?
That time was just miserable. I mean, we had wine. Like I said, we didn't have much money. So sometimes we were like, instead of dinner, we're going to have wine, or instead of lunch, we're going to have gelato.
but you'd think that these women would want to just like, at least just like try and suck your life force out of you because it's this old lady island.
That's what old ladies do.
Yeah.
That's why
Turned
she
out
stuck,
they were all Greek
stuck the needle right in your
goddesses.
foot. That's a ritual. They stick the needle right in your foot and
Yep.
sap your youth.
Yep.
And then give you wine and cheese.
Yeah, this was actually just, this whole thing happened yesterday, and then all of a sudden I'm this age. Like,
Oh no, not that age.
not this age.
And I'm really 85, but I've been sticking my needle into the feet of young women for decades. So
Knew it. I knew. You were at that hostel though, weren't you?
yep,
Yep.
I
knew
was.
it.
I was 100 then.
Yeah, you were the one cleaning.
Bueno.
So
Just
the
a
next
kid.
day we were like, okay, we're gonna get out the rest of the spines, and I got to a point where I could not inflict pain on myself anymore. Like I just couldn't. So I made my sister do it, and I was laying on my stomach. I was laying on my stomach holding a pillow, singing songs to try to distract myself, because the ones in the center were the deepest, and I was like, under the sea, and finally we get all to the last one, and she gets down, she's like digging around it, and she gets down, so she actually like twangs it.
Ooh.
And I just like pull my foot back, and I was like, I'm done. I don't care. I'm not getting it out. We're done. I'm done. And so we wrap up my foot, and we're like, we're in Pisa. We have to go see the tower.
Did you stuff your foot into like a fancy Italian high heel?
Yeah, yes.
With
Forget-
bandages
I'm gonna
like
have fun.
spilling out.
I'm gonna have fun in Italy.
God dang. Yeah.
Me and gauze is around her ankle.
Yeah.
Ow, ow, ow.
Blood just running, streaming after me. So we're walking along. We don't get a cab for money.
Well, you can't
and
afford it.
We
Yeah.
can't afford it.
No.
Which, by the way, if we ever want to make my mom feel guilty, we bring up the fact that we had no money in Europe, and she just feels terrible. But
Your mom who paid for
She
this
sent you
trip.
there.
Yeah, she paid for this trip,
And
but
told you to save.
no, I don't
You
feel
poor kids.
no, I know. I
feel bad
get
about it. She's like feels bad. I don't know. So we're walking along, and I'm hobbling, and we're not close to the Leaning Tower at all. And at a certain point, we just noticed that like every little shop and store along the way has a painting of the Leaning Tower and statues of the Leaning Tower and photographs. And we're like, you know what? That's it. That's all we're gonna see. We
We get it.
get it.
Yeah.
That's what we will see in large form when we get there. And so we went to Pisa and never saw the Leaning Tower.
Wow.
We were like, clearly I need to do something where I sit down for a while. So we decided to get on a train, a very long, like day into night train to Barcelona. And I tried one more time to get that spine out of my foot on the train, couldn't, and never did. So I am part sea urchin to this day.
Whoa. Wow, that took a turn.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh.
So you did name it, at least that one.
how big is this thing?
You can't see it. It's probably like floating around in my body.
Is it still growing?
No, this is where it did actually become a baby, and it is now my daughter.
Oh, that's whose toys those are.
That's
It
how-
really
Yeah.
is a street urchin.
Yeah, yeah.
Does it hurt or like warn you of tornadoes or anything?
Tornadoes, yeah.
In
I
Montclair,
think it
yeah, there's
does,
a lot
but
of
we
things.
don't live. I've never been in the area of a tornado, so I've
It's
never.
a siren. There's a siren that comes out of the bottom of her foot when there's a
Yeah.
tornado around.
Like if you step on a balloon, will it immediately pop? Like can you have like
A balloon has no shot against her foot.
When I mend things, I just like full on like use my foot, just weave it back and forth. I'm very flexible.
I feel like it's gonna come back around and work out for you in some capacity. I don't know what that would be, but like you've written the report on sea urchins. You know, you're part sea urchin at this point. Like
The story is not over. It's
no,
not over.
yeah.
When I lived in New York, I did work at a seafood restaurant that served sea urchins as like a
Wow.
thing.
Now we're
Okay.
getting somewhere.
Okay.
I think you might just one day just return to the ocean.
Yeah.
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 Like Daryl.
Like
Hannah.
Daryl.
Boom! In Lady Hawk. I actually don't think she's in Lady Hawk. I think that's Michelle Pfeiffer. So
It is Michelle Pfeiffer.